a pretty nun, a young soldier. Those are two of the characters in the latest historical novel to come out of Newfoundland. It was originally supposed to be a love story. It turned into something very different. It was here, on the trail around Kittivity Lake in St. John's, that Tom Moore first thought about writing an historical novel. Not far from here, a British force recaptured St. John's from the French back in 1762. It was the last skirmish of a long and bloody war for the possession of North America. As a Canadian, Moore knows that in some ways the war is still not over.
As a younger man, I had worked in Labrador City with the Newfoundlanders and people from the province of Quebec, and there was a certain tension, almost a hostility there at times, and I tried to fathom that and try to see if there was some sense that I could make of it.
Moore drew the next inspiration for his book from the historic Battle of the Plains of Abraham, which led to the British capture of Quebec City and to the end of New France.
Well, I had been traveling in Quebec, and I was on the Plains of Abraham, and I was had this vision. I can only describe it as a vision of a woman, a nun, the Ursuline order, and I was prompted to do some research about the Ursuline nuns, whom I'd never heard of before.
She was attractive but forbidden, like French-speaking Canada to the rest of the country. He was going to call the book The French Nun. Painter Jerry Squires is a close friend of Moore's.
He wanted to tell the birth of a nation, basically. And he was trying to do it through this French nun, through this love story between this Newfoundlander and this French woman. But it was just too standard, I guess, really. I mean, who hasn't done that?
It got him through the door. First thing he ran into was the guys in the portraits and the official story of simple victory and defeat. Beyond that lay the unofficial story, rich and textured, teeming with ghosts, each with its own story. A new title seemed in order. He came up with Ghost World. And there, inside the ghost world he attempted to create, Moore discovered what it had really been all about. Fire! Maybe it looked like nation building in hindsight. Maybe in some of the stories, desire did win over prejudice and love over hate. But Moore couldn't get around it. In the end, this country was born from violence.
An awful lot of the violence in our past has been candied over, and an awful lot of the characters, who are very, very interesting, have been almost stereotyped. Like Wolfe on the Plains of Abraham. We think of him dying, all the paintings show him graciously dying of one wound to the chest. There's a lace tissue held over it. The Indians are looking down adoringly. It just didn't happen like that. The man was shot 3 times. He was pretty well blown open by the last bullet that eventually killed him.
Squires knew what Moore was going through. He was going through it himself. Moore had asked him to do the illustration for the book cover.
We went through a lot of different ideas, you know, and finally we come up and then we said, well, the book is violent, you know. Let's just say that it's violent. Let's not pretend that it isn't. And when I finally decided to do that, it released me from the pressure, and I sort of knew then that what I had to do.
It's a savage scene, almost revolting. A madness broods over it, mocking the history books with their quaint images of tin soldiers fighting their tin battles in the official version of what happened. Moore ended up calling his novel The Plains of Madness, because this is what the ghosts told him. It's an old madness, not some unfinished destiny, which continues to divide this country against itself.
This book, I really didn't know what I had. I'm happy with it now, but all the way along there were times of frustration, like, what is this book about? Where is it leading me? Is it about violence? Is it about prejudice? Is it about nationalism? Is it about the evolution of a country? And it took me a while to wrestle with those things, to put them all in sync so that the tumblers would all fall in a row and the book could be about all of them.
theater near you.
Get ready for a Royal Wednesday on CBC at 8. It's the Queen Mother, Her Reign in Color, followed at 9 by Queen Elizabeth II, A Colorful Reign. It's a family affair. Wednesday night beginning at 8 on CBC.
CBC Radio 2, the guest conductor's first choice.
40 years ago, we built a community. Newfoundlanders and Labradorians, 9,000 strong. A place to live, a place to grow up, a place to work, to dig down deep and find the riches of the earth. Iron ore that's in demand all over the planet. By the global community. Iron ore that becomes steel, that becomes things we use every day. This is our town. This is where we live. And while our purpose for being here lies beneath the earth, what lies above is just as important. People, quality, pride. We are the Iron Ore Company of Canada, Labrador City. And our community, our town, serves the world.
The difference between a house and a home is the difference you make. And the people at your locally owned Timber Mart are right behind you with the products and advice you need to get the job done right. Super Christmas specials on now from King Canada Tools. A 12-volt cordless drill with batteries, just $99. 10-inch compound miter saw, including carbide blade, just $199. And this 4.5-inch angle grinder for $39. King Canada Tools are available at Murley Timber Mart, Cabot Timber Mart, and Western Bay Timber Mart.
Real.
Superb.
Reflective.
Something true is going to be revealed.
There's a line from The Champions, a news clip of Trudeau saying, "Just watch me," which is a perfect documentary line.
The signature of a really good documentary always is that it's a good story that's extremely well told.
They literally have a different lens on the world.
Free preview ends in January. Subscribe now at newtvchannels.com.
Tomorrow is Hockey Day in Canada on CBC Television. More than 12 hours of programming that starts in the early afternoon and continues until about 3 o'clock in the morning. And it will be more than just NHL hockey games. There'll be remote broadcasts from across the country, including one from the Mile 1 Stadium in St. John's. And there'll be stories about young hockey players and hockey dreams. Stories about outdoor events on outdoor rinks. Stories similar to the one we have tonight from Tony Dawson in Happy Valley Goose Bay.
It's just after noon, about -20. Beneath this ice surface in one corner, you might find home plate. A summer ball field transformed into a winter rink. It stretches into the outfield. A labor of love for about a dozen parents. And they did it through snowstorms and an unusually warm December.
I was one of the people that were laughing at it. I said, an ice rink in Labrador in the middle of the winter, outside, you must be foolish.
They're at the mercy of the elements, with no Zambonis, no fancy dressing rooms, a donated construction trailer with just enough heat to bring feeling back into frozen toes.
My God, isn't it great? When I think about all the times we were clearing snow over Christmas, and then we'd get another fall, and we kept clearing and wondering if they'd ever skate on it. And now since New Year's Eve, we must have had 100 kids a day, and there's 35, 40 kids here today. It's absolutely great. Worth all the effort.
Daylight is in short supply this time of year, especially in the north. But this rink never closes, and it's not unusual to hear this sound well into the night.
You like it out here?
Yeah, it's fun.
Why?
Because you can skate around and you can play hockey and stuff.
It's smooth and it's big. And it's good so we can play shinny.
I think it's really great. I love skating here. And I thank you for making this place.
Many of the kids out here today aren't involved in any minor hockey program or skating program for that matter. It's just a chance for them to come out and play with their friends and have some fun. You might say this is their field of dreams. Tony Dawson, CBC News, Happy Valley Goose Bay.